Welcome back.
Are we beginning to see an unusually high number of unidentified animals in our ocean and on land? Well, take a look at this footage. It was actually captured by a dive team in the Indian Ocean when they encountered something that they stated was like a shape-shifting, unidentified creature. It looks like an octopus, but it's like something we've never seen before or that has ever been recorded. So the question is, what is this? And I can't help but wonder, the government, our military has come forward and stated that there are alien bases in our waters. Could this be coming from them? Or is it just an unidentified species that has yet to be discovered? Take a look at this footage, comment below, tell me what you think.
Do you think it's a long-lost Atlantic sea monster? A Disposia experiment larva, project name Metroid, the lost sighting of the water chupacabra, or a piece of Oreo sinking slowly on a glass of Sprite? I wonder what would she say about this party animal, or mostly known as Ray Fanatic called blood jelly comb jelly. Now say it 10 times fast. Sounds like an ice cream from Ben and Jerry. You're welcome. Even though the company is not theirs no more. Memories. Anyways, like the great philosopher once said, let's get down to business. This comb jellyfish is named Ctenophora, the sea assignment. It's poorly studied due to its fragile nature, mostly found in the coast of South Americas, or investigated in the Black Sea and surrounding areas. It's vastly studied for its bioluminescence, complex digestive anatomy, and water propulsion, pretty much like this. Yep, I wouldn't want the creator of that video giving me directions to the nearest hospital. Imagine? We all know exaggeration is a must for content creation. Enjoy, muchachos. I'll stamp this. Wrong 411.
Hey, how are you? I was wondering if you sell any bullets that are like 38 lights.
There's really no such thing as that.
They kind of look like they might be lights.
No, there won't be lights.
Sorry. Do these come in ultralights or like low lead or?
No.
So when I fire it,
No. You want a bullet
yeah,
that's just gonna hit somebody
yeah.
and it's not gonna do any damage.
You know what I mean? Like a light bullet.
Yeah, no, there's no real light bullet.
It's weird because I read it on this other package I used, cigarette package. And I was just wondering, did you know that big tobacco labels their cigarettes with things like ultralight, light, low tar, even though they can be as deadly and addictive as regular cigarettes?
The same way you're not going to find safe, healthy cigarettes, you're not going to find safe, healthy bullets either.
Labeling deadly cigarettes as light and ultralight?
What would happen if that same principle is used in skincare? What about fluoride? Sugar? Microwave? And many more. Do you guys know? I don't know. I guess I'll have to ask AI to think for me and tell me his story. I'll stamp this. Listen.
In China, they figured out how to turn dead leaves into real money. A small team built a machine that eats piles of dry leaves and spits out clean, compact heating pellets. You dump in the leaves, the machine compresses them, and a few minutes later, you're holding a product people actually pay for. Instead of letting leaves rot in the street, they turn them into fuel for stoves, fireplaces, and industrial burners. It costs almost nothing to source the raw material. The demand for alternative heating is growing, and the margins are crazy. And here's the part everyone is missing. Most countries don't have anything like this. No competitors, no infrastructure, no one cashing in on literal mountains of free raw material. So if nobody in your city is doing it yet, this could be your chance. I post clever business ideas that could make you millions. Follow for more.
This machine is nothing new. Luckily, beetles are more accessible for the public. The cost of this is around $1,000 to $5,000. It is often used as fuel for heating homes via pellet stoves, cat litter, and animal bedding. What would a business person say about this machine? Would it be a liability? Something like putting money in your pocket, but your pocket has a home? Or a income-producing asset, short for asset, generating money? What will happen if a landscaper start using this machine? Could he sell cat litter for oil spills and obviously cat dirty business? Imagine how many beneficial plants they come across in their daily work and just throw away. Like I always say, if a person is hungry, he's going to look for food. If a person needs money, well, you know the rest. Converting trash into something beneficial for humanity is always nice to see. The problem is, what will you do with this information? Hey, California, we've been having too many fires. Would it be a nice investment to purchase a few machines like this? Or you're more focused in providing public restrooms like this for a single restroom? I'll stamp this, pack, protect at all costs.
Why did every phone company eliminate removable batteries at the exact same time? That wasn't coincidence, that was coordination. They told us it was for design slimmer phones, water resistance, but those were just surface level excuses. Because when you could take the battery out, you had real power. You could shut it all down, cut the signal, kill the tracking, stop the eavesdropping, gone. Just like that. Now, press power, swipe off. Hold the button, doesn't matter. The phone pretends to be off, but it's not. It still listens, still watches, alarms still work, updates still install while you sleep airplane mode. Just a feel-good toggle. And here's what no one wants to say out loud. Every major brand, every flagship model switched at once. No choice, no alternative. Because the system needed you to carry it willingly everywhere. It became the perfect surveillance tool. Not forced into your life, but invited in. It tracks, it listens, it maps your every move.
What are the reasons people trade their phones? Is it because of looks, graphics, new features? Or is it because monkey see, monkey do? I think it's the last one. Suffer no more, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. 20% will give you his story. In 2013, a new phone concept was introduced. The phone was called Phone Block. It offered detachable attachments, something mimicking a Lego, where you could enhance the camera, microphone, memory, battery life, etc. by just removing the current features and replacing with a new one. The phone concept did not get traction and never came out to the market because of so-called production complication, cost, and the most important, you. Most people did not care for it, instead followed a thread. The people that did really care for it never knew about it. Luckily, the idea was not lost. Some manufacturers started implementing similar concepts during the years, like the LG G5, the Motorola Moto Z, the Google Project Era, and now the Techno Atom. If there's demand, there's a product. But we all know that big companies will lose profit if the idea is not controlled by them. Like the saying goes, no money, no honey. Before I purchase something, I ask myself the big three. Will I find one in the street? Are they free? Or will somebody gift me one on Christmas? I'm just kidding. The big three are, do I need it? Can I afford it? Can I live without it? 2 out of 3 usually wins. Now try asking yourself the same question the next day. You'd be surprised of the answer. You don't need it. I'll stamp this. Revive.
In June 2014, a team of researchers at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention embarked on a massive project. They wanted to answer a simple but elusive question. What is the single healthiest food on the planet? They were not looking for opinions. They were not looking for trends. They were looking for hard data. They took 47 of the most common superfoods, fruits and vegetables we are told to eat every day, and they measured exactly how much potassium, fiber, protein, calcium, iron, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, folate, zinc, and vitamin A, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K, each food delivered per 100 calories. The results were shocking. Kale, the darling of every health food store in America, scored 49 out of 100. Spinach, the legendary muscle builder, did much better. It scored 86. Blueberries, praised as the ultimate antioxidant superfood, scored 11. But at the very top of the list, standing alone with a perfect score of 100 out of 100, sat a plant that most modern Americans have never tasted. It was not an exotic berry from the Amazon. It was not a root from the high Andes. It was a humble, peppery green leaf that grows in cold, shallow streams across the northern hemisphere. Watercress. According to the most rigorous scientific analysis ever conducted by the US government, watercress is the most nutrient-dense food on Earth. And yet, if you walk into a typical American supermarket today, you will likely not find it. You will see walls of kale. You will see pyramids of apples. But the king of nutrition? It is invisible. Why?
It's true. Here are some rankings. Before 2015, I always noticed that many people didn't purchase it, so I bought it to study its benefit. After watching the documentary Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, I decided to add it to my juice before a hike. I became a fan ever since. The energy I felt on that hike was interesting. This plant has a lot of interesting history. Too much information for a 3-minute clip. But if you have the time, visit their channel. It's called Nature's Lost Vault on YouTube. Their documentary on watercress is 15 minutes long, short enough for people to digest this information easier. Like the saying goes, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. The next move is yours. I'll stamp this, pack, protect at all costs.
There was no team called white, no race called white, but all of a sudden, in the middle of the 1600s, there was. Why? Why was it suddenly necessary to create this thing called the white race? Well, because rich people can count, that's why. And so rich folks looked around, the ones that owned all the land, in the colonies, the colonial elite looked around and they realized something, that they were heavily outnumbered by African enslaved folks, by European indentured servants who were just one level above a slave, or other Europeans who weren't technically indentured servants, but they were still peasants, didn't have any money, didn't have any land, and they could do the math. They added it up and they were like, damn, we got to figure out a way to split these folks apart from one another or they're going to rise up and take our stuff, right? Because after a while, these black folks who were enslaved Africans and these quote-unquote white folks who were poor Europeans are going to figure out they're all getting played by these rich people, right? So ultimately, the rich figure out they got to come up with some way to get somebody in that group on their team. The easiest thing is to get the poor Europeans, right? Because at least they look like you. They sort of share some of the customs and the culture. So they all of a sudden create this thing called whiteness, and they say, now you're part of the club. Now we're going to let you testify in court, enter into contracts, vote, at least if you're a man, own a little bit of land, at least if you're a man, right? And we're going to get rid of indentured servitude, no more of that, because you're too good for that. And we're going to take the white men, now called white men, and put them on the slave patrol to keep black people in line. Give them a horse and a gun and a badge and make them feel big and powerful, right? They're still poor. They still don't have anything. They didn't pay the slave patrol well, right? Just exploited them, used them as a buffer between the elite and the other poor folks, particularly poor folks of color. And pretty soon the rebellions that occasionally happened where black and white got together to overthrow the elite, those stopped because the divide and conquer had begun to work, right? You could turn people against each other by telling those poor white folks they got to keep these black people in line. And so that divide and conquer gets initiated in the colonies. Rich white men telling not rich white people that their enemies are black and brown. Fast forward to the Civil War era. And you have, I'm from the South, right? My people, the elite in my part of the country, right, actually announced that the reason they wanted to break away from the Union and possibly go to war with their brothers and sisters to the North was in order to maintain slavery and white supremacy. They said that at the time. We lie about it now. And we say it had nothing to do with that. But of course, at the time, they didn't have any shame about it, so they just said it openly. right? The vice president of the Confederacy, Alexander Stephens, said that the cornerstone of the new government was the great truth that the Negro was not the equal of the white man. So that's the reason the Confederacy was formed and existed. But here's the trick. If I'm rich and I want to go to war to protect my ownership in other human beings, my property, but you're poor and you don't own any enslaved people, why the hell would you go fight to protect my stuff? Because I'm a rich person, I'm not going to fight. Rich people don't go to war, right? Rich people get poor people to go to war for them, whether it's in 1860 or whether it's during the 1960s or whether it's today, right?
Are you still there? There was an individual named Bacon, and not that bacon. That's a good bacon. Bacon's rebellions in 1976 was a nightmare for the Virginia ruling class because it features temporary yet powerful alliance between European Poors and Africans. Jamestown burned to the ground, and Governor William fled like a shut your mouth. In the aftermath, whiteness and slavery codes were created, thus eliminating the bond they used to have. What was the cost? William refused to authorize attacks on local tribes, favoring more of the policy strains to preserve trade, which angered frontier settlers. In short, divide and conquer. Are you guys still stuck on left versus right? If so, I wish you a speedy recovery. I'll stamp this. Listen, Linda, listen.
You know, I heard once, if you want to hide something, you put it in a book. Man, isn't that malicious? Anyways, I want to talk to you today about law. You see, law is an acronym, and it stands for land, air, and water. See, I always do two things whenever I'm researching something. Number one is, where did it come from? And two, why is it that way? You got to question everything, right? So for this in particular, it goes all the way back to the British, and when the English had the largest navy, or one of the largest navies, and they basically ran the sea, right? So what they did is they took the English language, or the language of the sea, and they brought it back into commerce. And then they manipulated the courts and the banking's language into what we call Admiralty Maritime Law, or the law of the water, okay? So let's talk through some of the etymology and the why things are that way. All right, so we'll start with the fact that all ships are female. Have you ever wondered why that is? The captain will say,
Whoa. There was actually one ship named He. I believe it comes from Russia or Germany. But anyways.
Oh, she's a good ship, right? Well, now, stick with me here because this is absolutely freaking wild. Well, it's because a ship is a vessel. A vessel carries product, right? A ship delivers product, right? When a ship parks, it's called a berth. And where does it park? It parks at a dock. All right, still with me? Okay, this is why you're considered a product when you go to court, right? In the eyes of the court, because your mother was a vessel, aka the ship, that carried you, the product, to term. Then she delivered you at your berth to the dock, or the doctor, right? The dock tender. That's why when her water broke, she delivered you to shore through the berth canal. Whoa, okay. This is why when courts refer to you as a person, okay, this is why they group together person, place, and thing, because person is a noun, all right? But you are not a thing. You are a living, breathing soul. You are a verb. You are always breathing and growing and evolving, right? Notice the ing. You're living. You're a being. Okay, this is why when you are registered at birth, okay, because you're given a birth certificate because a ship has to register its product upon delivery to the dock through a manifest. Okay, so let's look at the money side of things. All right, and why money is water, right? What sits on either side of a river that directs the flow of the water? That's right, a river bank. Well, just like how banks direct the cash flow, right? Or the currency. This is why we talk about having liquidations or liquid assets, right? Money is water. That's why all commerce is handled using maritime admiralty law, the law of the water, okay? But you got to realize that there is a different kind of laws. There's the law of the land and there's the law of the water. All right, so I can go.
Welcome to Sunday school. Like a great philosopher would say, sensational. Jordan Max will be proud of you, senor. I wonder what David Miller would say. Syntax, muchacho. Just go slower next time. People need to process this huge information overload. I'll stamp this. More research needed.
So that night I went to the hardware store and I bought a roll of metal duct tape. And I just taped it across the bed. I threw a wire out the window. And it had a ground rod outside. I connected to the ground rod on one side and connected to the metal duct tape that I had laid on the bed. So when I laid down on the duct tape, I was like grounded because it was connected to the earth. And I woke up the next morning and I thought, holy cow, there's something going on here, because normally for me to go to sleep, I had to take Advil. I found an anesthesiologist in San Diego, and he says, I will prove that you're wrong. And we grounded 60 people, and the reports that came in were unbelievable. TMJ disappeared, PMS disappeared, inflammation reduced, pain. Everybody slept better. It's the first study that I did that was a legitimate study where we had quantifiable data. When they saw the study, everybody said, well, this is really pretty interesting. And we ended up attracting scientists, physicists.
Like any important discovery, nobody was interested. They thought he was crazy. Now there are a lot of scientists who are interested. I'm very interested in biological questions. Earthing brings up some really profound biological questions.
What is grounding? Grounding or earthing involves the skin contact with the earth. Are there any benefits to grounding your bed? Google says yes. Allegedly, it reduces inflammation, improves sleep, and lowers stress. Allegedly. In order for this to work, grounding products often contain silver threads, must be properly connected to the ground outlet or rod, and require skin contact. It will be chilly. Here are a few before and after images, plus a study. Any tool or method that benefits us in a good way is always welcome. Wouldn't you agree? Now you're a few steps away from cymatic copper pyramid and crystals. Enjoy, muchachos. I'll stamp this. Bah! Protect at all costs.
One's perception is one's reality. You cannot change anybody's reality. If you try to change their reality, you're going to get pushback because they only know what they know. Whether it's real or not, it's their reality. So what you want to do is you want to offer them a better alternative perception. And if they resonate with your perception, then they will change their own reality because their perception becomes their reality. Just a quick example. Let's say you got a 7 or 8-year-old brother, right? And he goes to a magic show with his buddies. And he comes back and tells you, Joe, you know, this magician, he asked for a female volunteer and 50 women raised their hand. He picked up this one, come up on stage. He told her to climb into this long box and stick her feet out that hole and put her head out this hole. Then he closed the lid, told her to wiggle her feet, and she kicked her legs. And they took a chainsaw and went and cut that box in half. And you're like, it didn't really happen like that. Yes, it did. I was there. You weren't even there. I saw it with my own eyes. You are challenging his reality. He knows what he saw. And that magician cut that woman in half. And then to make it even more obvious to you, he tells you that the magician, after he cut the box in half, took the half with the legs sticking out and moved it over here to stage right, and the half with the head over here to stage left. And then he went over there and talked to the head of the woman, and she talked back to him. And then he brought the two halves back together, opened the box, and out popped the woman, full form, no blood. He cut her in half and he put it back together. And you're saying, it was just an illusion. No, it wasn't. I saw it with my own eyes. I was there. You weren't even there. So you're attacking his reality. He's going to resist. He's going to fight you. All right? So what you do is you offer him a better perception. You say, hey, listen, I hear what you're saying, but could it be possible that just maybe out of those 50 women that raised their hands and he picked one, maybe she works for him? Maybe he planted her in the audience. She knows the trick. She travels to every show around the country with him. And when she gets in the box, there's a pair of mannequin legs laying on the floor of the box that are wearing the same stockings and same shoes that she has on. She picks them up, shoves them out the hole. When he says, move your feet, she just shakes those things. And then she brings her own legs up under her chest. So her whole body is on that half of the box. So the saw doesn't even touch her. And obviously, when he separates the two halves, the feet are over there. Now she can't move them. So he has to distract your attention by going over here. So you're not looking at those feet. And he's talking to the head and she's talking back. Of course, when he brings them back together, she pulls the dummy legs, leaves them on the floor of the box. She climbs out. And then your brother says, I guess that would be the only way that would work. You've offered him a better perception, and that perception then becomes his reality. So don't attack somebody's reality, regardless of what it is, even if you know it to be false. Give them a better perception and allow them to resonate with it, because it's always better when somebody comes to the conclusion, I've been wrong, maybe this is something I need to think about. Yeah, this will work.
This is a tool that I found by reading the 48 Laws of Power. It works 90% of the time. The last 10% of people usually takes them a little bit longer. For those stubborn people, you have to make them believe the idea, answer, or plan was there from the beginning. It's much easier for them to accept it once they believe the idea came from them. Once the seed of doubt starts growing, it usually goes her way. I'll stamp this. Listen, Linda, listen.
This is why you always trust your pet's instincts. A man named Robert is left deeply shaken as he explains that his dog Ollie started frantically barking at something in the woods. Curious to see what's causing his dog so much distress, he goes over to check it out and makes a horrifying discovery.
What the hell is barking at? I have no idea. What the hell is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that, huh?
A loud, visceral growl is heard as he sees this creature with bright, glowing eyes stalking him from behind the trees. The man runs for his life and refuses to go out again. Many viewers commented this could be a wolf based on its red glow, where some mentioned that didn't sound like a wolf and believed the man might have been visited by the urban legend, the Mothman. Let me know your thoughts on this one.
Why was he looking to the left before he stopped walking? Mr. Robert. Sneaky, sneaky. Remember, it gets boring in the wooded cities. I should know. I used to live close by the Chattanooga Mountains, where the most exciting thing was going to Walmart, where everybody knows each other. Well, after years investigating this video, some DNA analysis, and 5 years meditating, I came to the conclusion that this video is interesting. Thank you, Mr. Robert. You're a funny fellow. I'll stamp this. Mikey.
We'll see that we've been fed from the time we were little kids, fed into the educational machine, the indoctrinational machine. We have been inculcated in a particular view of the world, our place in it, and the history of our species and the history of this planet. And we cannot be asking too many questions about that, because if we do, it'll start becoming apparent to us that we've been fed a whole construct of BS.
Imagine someone telling you they hate pizza. You tell him why. He tells you a story about eating a slice of pizza from Luigi's Pizzeria. Because of that, he knows he hates pizza. I paused a bit to gather my thoughts. I did not say yes or agree with him. In other words, kisses behind. Nor I told him he was wrong, because otherwise that will create hate. I just said, I understand. I'm not agreeing nor denying, but I acknowledge his point of view. I asked him a question. Do you hate pizza? He said yes. I said, okay, that means you hate all pizzas from around the world. He said no. I said, exactly. You just hate Luigi's Pizzeria. That's it. Don't say you hate pizza in general. You just hate Luigi's Pizza from that specific spot. Maybe you like Chicago style pizza, or extravagant and put some pineapple in it. So don't tell me you hate all pizza. You just hate that specific pizza, that location, that city, that county, etc. Allegedly, school information is the same. I understand the 40% information they give me, but I still have to search the other 40% elsewhere to complete my 40-40-20 pie. Don't hate the information, understand it. Like John D. Rockefeller said, I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. Is it wrong for him to say that? No. Let me explain. Because he understands business. He's doing the best for his circle, for his family. Don't get me wrong. It's still bad energy. But I do understand it. And now, also you. Are you guys familiar with the 1943 Bengal famine author? He said, history is written by the victors. No, not that Victor. That's my cousin. Do you guys remember what Malcolm is learned my last video? It's right here. Look it up. I want to ask my older folks a few questions. How did we go from this color for kindergarten to this pale gray-white classroom, then this gray-white office cube, but some other people went to gray-white color gel rooms? If you go back a few decades, you can basically see how schools were colorful and slowly became gray, white, and dark colors. I know. Most of you are going to say because of fashion and times. And I'll agree with you guys. But, and there's a big but, why is there few natural lights in classrooms compared to the past? Do you know the effects of LED versus natural light? Why did schools stop teaching the Bible in 1960? First Amendment, the Unitarians. Got it. Cool story. I see a phrase that says state sponsor. What does that mean? In regular words, in regular dictionary. What are some major things that happened in 1963? JFK and Berlin. JFK, unaliving. Dr. King, I have a dream. And this one is interesting. The measles vaccine got approved. And still, they don't have a cure. That's how many years? Allegedly. They're looking for some traction. It's right there in the news a few days ago. But nobody cares. Anyways, going back. Also in 1963, the Beatles singing something about a 70-year-old standing there. That's the title of the song. And they follow up with, you know what I mean. I hate that because I love the Beatles, but also what is concerning, a USS Treasure sunk near the Boston coast. Oh, by the way, the reactor's still on the bottom. Luckily, the news that we received from the Navy that there's no radiation, but it's still down there. Ain't that concerning? That's basically close to New York and Boston. I believe their information. When did school stop teaching cursive? Around 2010, right? What important books or scriptures are written in cursive? Here are a few. Oh, by the way, my understanding, allegedly, is that artificial intelligence cannot read cursive. Sure, buddy. By now, many people know who is R, Max. So when people say school is bull, I agree. But I do remind them that 40 information is not enough to complete the pie. I'll stand this. Debatable. If you want to make this next video more exciting, download the GhostTube app on your phone. Press play on your TV to watch this video. Then use the GhostTube on your phone to see the video with the green filter or the infrared. You'll thank me later.
Estaba desde hace rato escuchando eso. Estoy escuchando música desde la tele. Pero se escuchan rezos. O como que alguien rezando. No sé. Alexa, luz del cuarto blanco frío. Déjame ver si... Ok, acabo de encender la luz del teléfono. Y no veo nada. No puedo ver bien el teléfono. Pero es cosa de que me dejo de asomar. Apago la luz. Escuchen. Eso fue en la puerta, eso fue en la puerta. Voy a ir a ver. Chinga. Por cierto, mis papás no han estado en estos días. Y es cuando más se ha presentado todo. Uy, es que está oscurísimo aquí. Y no hay nadie. Ahí están haciendo una construcción. Escuchan. Viene de allá. ¿Quién eres? ¡Ay, no seas pendejo!
Is it possible to have a thin face cutout image glued to the post? Hopefully you've seen it through the GhostTube app filter. I'll stamp this, Mikey.
What is going on? A monster cat. I guess in like fucking, I don't know, some ancient letters. And then like a part of the world. What the f is happening? We're doing a full 360 with the can. There's some spooky shit happening. What is that? I'm fucking afraid. I'm afraid. Okay.
This image right here is from the pyramid Unas. It can only be seen by turning the lights off and placing a flashlight in a certain angle. I'll stamp this. More research needed.
This road doesn't just drain water, it drinks it. In Germany, engineers built a road that can absorb over 4 tons of rainwater in under a minute. Instead of letting water pool and damage the surface, they created a porous base made from crushed granite. Rain seeps through tiny gaps between the stones and drains into a system of underground pipes. The result? A dry, safe road. No puddles, no potholes. And since granite is incredibly strong, this road lasts longer, even under heavy traffic. A smart fix to a global problem.
Do you know why it's not in the States? I would like to hear your comment. Leave your comments down below. I'll stamp this. More research needed. This next video is about crawlers in the fish. Warning is advised.
You can see the bone here. Also, I don't know, it's making it right. Next one. You can see the bone here.
It's the same bone, but at the other side. Yeah. Okay.
Wow, this is a lot of parasite here.
A lot of what?
You can see that?
Oh, well, let's take a look at that. Can you open that up again here?
It's gotta grow.
Let's see.
Yeah, this fish must be very, very carefully. There's so many things here.
Those are parasites.
So,
wow, it's gonna be interesting. Open up.
Open up everything.
You know, I've never seen it before, and all the fish that we brought in, this is definitely the first. And this was from one of our new suppliers. Is it still moving?
Not really. Okay. And then once you open up here, all the way up to here to, they have a lip. I have to cut off the lip. That's
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the rib part, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Then the meat was already separated.
Let's get a close-up view for our viewers out there. These are parasites. Let me show, and it's
only the tail side. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's inside the meat. Unbelievable, huh? So this fish is infected. Oh boy. Okay.
Wow.
Let's see here. Hold on, let me show. Oh boy. Yeah, that's bad. That's like tapeworm.
Have you ever eaten sashimi, raw ceviche, or poke? If so, this is for you. Here are some method industry freezes commercial fish at this temperature. The saltwater fish has less parasites than freshwater. Google says yes, less. Also ask yourself, are you eating wild fish or farm fish? It's a big difference. Is my fish sushi grade or not? Either way, allegedly, many people are carrying crawlers without even knowing. You don't think so? When was the last time you cleansed for parasites? Exactly. Yummy, yummy, yummy in my tummy. Yes. Like Mr. Mackey from South Park said, parasites are bad. Okay. Oh, before I forget, How can I say this without getting a strike? Make sure your house is strong enough to clean and sweep the inside to throw the trash away. You Nintendo? Good. I'll stamp this. Listen, Linda, listen.
You can be kind to animals, kind to the paperboy, kind to every stranger who crosses your path. But kindness to strangers is not the measure of our character. Kindness at home is the real test. Because strangers don't carry our history, and strangers don't activate our wounds, and strangers don't mirror back the parts of us that we've avoided for years. Our spouse does, our children do, our home does. And here's the uncomfortable truth that most people dodge. If all of your graciousness is saved for strangers, that's not kindness, that is image management. The real measure of who we are isn't the polite smile that we give to the grocery clerk. It's the tone we use with the partner who loves us. It's the patience we offer when our children are overwhelmed. It's the softness we choose on the days our egos want to snap. Because marriages don't collapse from one major betrayal. They erode slowly from daily neglect, from casual disrespect, from the slow leak of everyday unkindness and indifference. Kindness to strangers might make people like you. Kindness to your spouse makes you trustworthy. Kindness to strangers creates an image. Kindness at home creates a person of character. And if we are kind everywhere except our own house, that's not kindness, that's performance. That is image management dressed up as virtue.
I'll stamp this. If you like this type of videos, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe when you can. See you until next time. Have a blessed day. Adieu.